beautiful collectors and Transformer and Ghostbuster fans. On today's episode, thanks to the incredible support of my patrons, Optibotimus Plus channel members, and those of you that just hit that thumbs up button, we're going to be taking a look at the new Target exclusive Transformers Ghostbusters crossover of ECTOTRON. Now, this is a little bit different than the other one that I looked at a few months ago. This is a new one that is designed to replicate how the Ecto-1 looks in the upcoming Ghostbusters Afterlife film. Which means there is some stuff that is different about it. Mostly you kind of see it. The ladder has now been moved from this side to the other side because if you've seen the trailer, we now know that this version of the Ecto-1 has been equipped with a gunner door. And it comes out on this side. So they had to change this up a little bit. But unlike that other version, this, like I said, is a retail release. It is right now, as far as I know, an exclusive here in the US to Target stores. But in addition to the remolded bits here, you get a new head, some new paint. You also do get a new ghost, which we have now since learned his name is Muncher. Of course, you get Slimer that came with the other one. I'm a little bit disappointed because the original promo pictures had his face being painted, and that's not the case now, which that's a little bit unfortunate. And then you get the IDW comic of Transformers Ghostbusters, which I never read that initially, so I don't know if that's just like a one-shot or if there's a series or whatever, so I'll take a look at that here in a bit. You got the 2021 logo, which is nice to see. The other one was 2020. The image here on the side, you can see like what I was talking about. The ladder has been now put on that side. But then you got images of him in his robot vehicle. Oh, and then you can even see it right there. It says Muncher. I don't know why that was like a big thing. I just saw it kind of trending that they announced it. But, I mean, it's announced on the package. So, no, whatever. Nothing really on this side. Come around the back of the package. You do have those tech specs. If you want to pause it and read it, go ahead. You also have a bit of a read-up up here. So again, if you want to pause it, read it. But I love how they got the G1 Transformer kind of art here in the back. That's really cool. Doesn't really say Ghostbusters there, but, hey, it's fun. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the new Target exclusive ECTOTRON open up and out of its packaging. And as I said in the beginning of the review, this is the second ECTOTRON that we've gotten, and this one has been changed slightly to more resemble how the Ecto-1 looks in the upcoming Ghostbusters Afterlife film. That being said, you do get the comic that's from IDW. It doesn't have any kind of connection to the Afterlife film. It's literally just an episode with ghosts of the different Transformers and stuff, and I mean, it's interesting, but it's a crossover. But then you got this really nice Ghostbusters poster there in the back, right there. And then you got some cross sells with some other ones. I do like this one with Starscream in the No Ghost logo. That's kind of cool looking. Kremzeek and all of them. The Ghostbusters, ECTOTRON, all that fun stuff. But like I said, this doesn't have anything to do with the movie, but you do get this nice comic. It is just the first part. I don't know if they did multiple parts of it. I didn't bother collecting them. I know I'm a Ghostbuster and Transformer fan. I didn't really have. It says to be continued, but it didn't interest me really at all. But coming into ECTOTRON, now, like I said, there are some differences in terms of the mold on this. We'll get to all that, but you do get some little ghost guys. Now, this guy is basically the exact same, like I talked about. It is really unfortunate because I remember the promo images having paint on his face. That's really unfortunate that they didn't put that on there. But this is the real star. This is Muncher. Now, while this was revealed to us actually on the packaging for this toy, we recently got to see the actual CGI image of this character, and it pretty much resembles this. He's a blue, chubby looking dude, and he's got 6 arms, and you can see 3 arms there, and then, one of them is like holding his belly right there. So that's really cool. It's made out of the same kind of material, this really thick rubbery material that Slimer is. One thing that I should actually mention is this is the original one. You can see that there is a slight difference to the, I don't know, clearness of them. I don't know how well that's coming across. This one is a lot less clear than the new one is. I kind of like the way that this one looks a little bit more. It does help to kind of bring out some of the details in him, but overall, I mean, you can see, same basic thing, just a slightly different sort of clarity to the little figures themselves. Then getting him out of the way. As for the Ectotron, really very nice. I mean, I've talked about this before, that if I could have certain cars in my life, the DeLorean would be one, the 1989 Batmobile would be one, and the Ecto-1 would be one as well. This is fantastic. Now, as I said, this is how it's supposed to look. I've said it many times, but this is how it's supposed to look in the upcoming film. This is the original Ectotron, and this is based off of how it appeared in the first movie. Now, what you're seeing primarily is like the coloring. You can see that this is a much cleaner white, whereas this one has a very dingy white to it, obviously denoting the age of this. There's a lot of other small little subtle details as well. When you come around here to the front, you can see that they put some rust on here, which honestly, I don't think looks all that good, because it's just right there. It's not spread out throughout the rest of it. That's really unfortunate. I really wish they would have done that kind of throughout the entire thing. But you can see you got the nice silver there in the front. You can see that the wire here is a different color. This is a more kind of goldish color, whereas this is a little bit more yellowish, or maybe a brighter gold color. But you can see some other very subtle paint details in here. Like, for example, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get this in here, but you can kind of see, let me zoom in, and I'll come around here to the back. On the fin here, let me just, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this right now, but you can see, like, for example, this piece right here, you get a little extra paint right above where the little silver bit is. You can kind of see it going up there. Whereas this, it's just red. But then you can also see that this is a nice silver, whereas that is all white. So again, very subtle paint differences. But it still looks good nonetheless. And this whole thing popped off. So, gotta put that in there. That doesn't stay in. It doesn't like staying there at all. The other thing that I've noticed is that the windows are a little bit less clear. Again, a little bit more yellowish in the window, whereas these have a very nice clearness to them. And then you can see that the siren lights up here, these are a very nice bright blue, whereas these ones are a lot more dulled down. The rest is pretty much the same. There's a lot of very subtle paint differences, but I really do dig it. Now, you can see that the original Ecto had the ladder on this side, and then everything like tabs in, pulls in here, and you can actually remove that if you really wanted to, but the hole is there. Now this one does not have the hole on this side, so it's a slight remold, I guess, because they moved the ladder to this side, which it does kind of get in the way of this hose here, but I mean that's the way that the film has it designed, and I'm just going to leave that off. But they now put the hole on this side here, and then what they also did, and let me take this out of the way. Here's the Neutron Wand, just sliding that just stores right on the side. You don't need to have that on there. Those are identical. None of that changed between them, same color and everything like that. But what they did do for this one, let's see, no, it's this. So what they did was, because they moved it onto this side, and again, these don't really stick in here all that well. And that's definitely a pain in my gluteus maximus. So, come on. Something like that. Yeah, well, never mind. So this piece right up here now has a little tiny hole in it so that you can tab this in there. This has been slightly redone, as you can see. So this one here goes here, plugs in to that, and then this comes in here and then plugs into the little yellow container thing, although again, it doesn't really peg in there all that well. Whereas this one, what they did was you would put this in Right, y'all? Come on. Get in there. Just going to twist that in there. And there we go. And then the little slot for it was right up here. So you would just bring this up and loop that down. And that's popping out again. I'm going to have to fix that. So, like I said, they did some slight remolding on the exterior here of the car to give it that more Afterlife vibe. One thing that I never really noticed, at least I don't remember if I noticed it or not, is the back. This compared to this. Now, number one, they have the Ecto-1 license plate here in the back, which is nice, but they also have the No Ghost logo right there. This guy doesn't have that, and it should have that, because that's how it looked. I mean, like, that was there in the film itself, so them missing that on that is kind of a pain in my butt. Ultimately, it's not gonna like drive me nuts or anything, but, well, honestly, it kind of does drive me a little bit nuts, but they corrected it on this. I just would prefer the more classic look. But, I mean, everything else is really very, very nice. Now, they didn't put in the gunner door that the new one will have. I don't think they could really do that very well. But this section here opens up, and then the gunner door comes out, and then they go around shooting. Everything is kind of like falling apart right now on this. I also noticed that this is not as tight as this one. This one was fairly tight on here, so I'm wondering if they shrunk this wire for this one, or elongated it for this one, because that always kind of felt like it was a little bit too tight for it. So that's a possibility. But overall, absolutely gorgeous. I do wish that this was a little bit easier to stay locked in place, because as it is, as you can see, it doesn't like staying there. You got to push this in, and then you have to fold this up and plug that in there, and that'll, let's see how long. Yeah, that's not staying there for very long, so that does kind of stink. But overall, really happy with how this entire thing turned out. It looks really cool. There are some bits that I wish were done better, like the rust or whatever. Don't even put that on there. I mean, you should have had some like along the bottom here. They could have done so much more with that, especially since this thing costs $60. Yeah, $60 for this. It's a Voyager size figure, so I mean, $30, $40 maybe, then add an extra $20 for the comic book and this. I don't really see it, but you guys know me, I'm a Ghostbuster fan, so I was gonna absolutely pick this up. But transformation on this guy is the exact same. I am going to skip it because we've already covered it. This mold has been out for a while now, so it's not really a surprise or anything. So, utilizing some of that good old-fashioned Optibotimus movie magic, we're going to go from Ectotron looking like this to looking like this. And because he basically is the same mold, I'm already impressed with it. You do have, again, different paint details throughout the entire thing. But here, especially in robot mode, you get a little bit more of that kind of rust stuff there. I still don't think it looks all that good, honestly. But there he is. Let's do some size comparison. So here is the original Ectotron. And again, the colors obviously are going to be what you're primarily going to see. This is a little bit more dingy. This is a very bright, vibrant white. Getting his little Neutron Wand down here, you can see that instead of this tannish color for the chest, they now have the silver. Kind of a couple different details going on through here, whereas this was silver on his belt. Now it's tan to kind of match along with his thighs and such. Instead of the silver that's down here for his shin, this now has that tan section. But the biggest difference in terms of mold wise, I suppose, would be that he does have a new head sculpt. Neither are really all that bad, honestly. I think both are great. But when you come in and take a closer look, see, you can see that now his goggles are actually lifted above his eyes. Whereas this one, you can see that they're down around his eyes. This one has them actually lifted kind of up. Oh, wait. Did I have that reversed? Well, no, wait. No, I'm completely ridiculous. in terms of things. The whole head is completely different. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at, honestly. But the entire head is basically redone. This has like a little mouth section here, whereas his is more like of a mouth plate of sorts. Honestly, I thought that and I'm looking at it closer, and I honestly thought that it was with a visor up and down sort of thing. But no, it's completely different. But you can see that you got like this little extra bit right there, whereas this one doesn't have that. I mean, either way, the head is different. And that's really the biggest difference in terms of the bot mode here. And then, so of course, I'm going to do it just because. Here he is next to a Coca-Cola Tic Tac container. But, I mean, in general, for me, it's really a tough sell, to be totally honest. And I'm a big Ghostbuster fan. You guys know that. I mean, I do like the more accurate paint details on him in terms of recreating the Ecto in the upcoming movie. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, $60 for this. And I don't know if I can really justify that. Like I said, he's a Voyager size figure. He's considerably remolded, but I don't remember the original Ectotron being that much. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I have a hard time swallowing that as a price point for this guy. He's a cool toy. Don't get me wrong. And honestly, I'll probably display him in the vehicle mode alongside that other one in the robot mode. I mean, or maybe I'll flip it around or something like that, because this guy kind of has that non-original movie look. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll have him in his robot mode, and I'll keep the original one in the vehicle mode, because that's, I don't know, I like that look a little bit more. So really hard to say. I mean, if you're a big Ghostbuster fan, if you weren't able to get that other one, I'd pick it up. I just, maybe not at $60. You do get the Ghost. This one we already got before. We get Muncher. You get the comic book. It's a hard sell for me, guys. It really is. I want to love it because I love Transformers and I love Ghostbusters. But if you got the other one, I don't really see this as being something that is necessary to get. If you're a Ghostbuster fan, you're probably going to pick it up because most times Ghostbuster collectors pick up everything that their franchise kind of gives them. So, it is what it is. But all of that being said, if this version of Ectotron is a figure that you would like to add to your collection, as I previously mentioned, he is exclusive release here in the US at Target stores. And he is out now. So if you are looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Once again, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would do one very simple thing for me. And that's just to hit that thumbs up button. That one very small gesture really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really very much appreciate it. Also, I gotta send a huge shout out to all of my patrons and Optibotimus Plus channel members, who through their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a patron like these guys, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. Or if you want to keep all of your perks and rewards like custom channel emojis and loyalty badges, exclusive member live streams, Zoom calls, and the occasional giveaways like these guys do, consider becoming a member of Optibotimus Plus. And for that, all you have to do is click on that little join button right down there. And finally, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.